Strategy Management Series. Video number 102 Strategy Formulation. Step 7 Strategy Evaluation. Competitive Advantage. Welcome back to the Ready MBA series on strategy management. In our previous sessions, we delved into strategy evaluation, the crucial seventh step of the strategy formulation process. This stage entails scrutinizing potential strategies for their impact, benefits, costs, and resource requirements. We introduced the strategy choice cascade framework, based on the book Playing to Win, to help the planning team create effective strategies. We will continue the discussion about the third step, where the planning team must define how to win, determining the pathway to success on the selected playing field. In our last episode, we covered the concept of strategic positioning as defined by Michael Porter, which refers to the unique position a company occupies in its industry, and is determined by the activities it performs and how they are integrated and coordinated. In this video, we will discuss how the planning team can evaluate and create competitive advantages to win with the strategy they are evaluating and proposing. Competitive advantage is the unique combination of resources, capabilities, and strategic positioning that enables a company to consistently outperform its competitors in terms of profitability, market share, customer satisfaction, and other key performance metrics. It involves not only creating value for customers but also capturing a disproportionate share of that value relative to competitors. Competitive advantage is not static but dynamic, requiring continuous improvement, innovation, and adaptation to changing market conditions. It is rooted in the company's ability to leverage its strengths, exploit opportunities, and mitigate weaknesses and threats in the competitive landscape. Competitive advantage is intricately linked to a company's activities through the concept of the value chain, as proposed by Michael Porter. By systematically analyzing and optimizing each activity in the value chain, a company can identify opportunities to reduce costs, enhance differentiation, and ultimately create value for customers. Activities such as inbound logistics, operations, marketing, and service delivery contribute to the overall value proposition offered by the company. By understanding how these activities interact and impact each other, as well as how they align with the company's strategic objectives, firms can develop a unique configuration of activities that provides a sustainable competitive advantage. This advantage arises not only from performing activities differently but also from integrating and aligning them in a way that is difficult for competitors to replicate. Therefore, strategic management of activities within the value chain is essential for creating and maintaining competitive advantage in today's dynamic business environment. Here's a step-by-step guide on how the planning team can analyze and define competitive advantages to win with the strategy being articulated. 1. Understand the value chain. Begin by comprehensively analyzing your company's value chain, which consists of a series of activities that are performed to design, produce, market, deliver, and support your products or services. Identify primary activities such as inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and service, as well as support activities like procurement, technology development, human resource management, and firm infrastructure. 2. Identify value activities. Break down each activity within the value chain into discrete tasks or functions, known as value activities. These activities contribute to the creation or delivery of value to customers. For example, within the inbound logistics activity, tasks may include sourcing raw materials, inventory management, and supplier relationships. 3. Classify types of value activities. Categorize value activities into primary and support activities. Primary activities directly contribute to the creation and delivery of the product or service, while support activities provide the infrastructure and resources necessary to support primary activities. Recognize that both types of activities are essential for overall value creation and competitive advantage. 4. Analyze linkages between activities. Evaluate the relationships and linkages between different value activities within the value chain. Identify how the performance of one activity influences or impacts the performance of others. These linkages can be either sequential, where the output of one activity becomes the input for another, or reciprocal, where activities complement or reinforce each other. 5. Understand types of linkages. Recognize the various types of linkages that exist within the value chain. These include interfunctional linkages, where activities across different functions are integrated and coordinated, and intrafunctional linkages, where activities within the same function are aligned and optimized. Additionally, consider strategic linkages, which involve activities that provide a source of competitive advantage or differentiation. 6. Assess competitive scope. Determine the competitive scope of your company by defining the boundaries of your market presence and the extent of your competitive activities. This involves considering segment scope, target customer groups, vertical scope, range of value chain activities, geographic scope, areas of operation, and industry scope, breadth of industries. 7. Choose types of competitive scope. Decide on the types of competitive scope that align with your company's strategic objectives and capabilities. This may involve focusing on a narrow or broad segment scope, vertical integration or specialization, regional or global geographic scope, and single or multiple industry scope. Tailor your competitive scope to capitalize on opportunities and minimize threats in your target markets. 8. Define competitive advantage. Based on your analysis of the value chain, value activities, linkages, and competitive scope, articulate your company's competitive advantage. This involves identifying the unique capabilities, resources, and strategic positioning that enable your company to outperform competitors and deliver superior value to customers. Your competitive advantage should be sustainable, difficult for competitors to imitate, and aligned with your overall business strategy. To aid in this process, the planning team can leverage the VRIO framework, which stands for value, rarity, imitability, and organization. Each activity and their inherent resources and capabilities should be evaluated across these 4 factors. The value factor examines whether a resource or capability adds value to the business by exploiting opportunities or mitigating threats. The rarity factor determines how unique or scarce a resource or capability is compared to competitors. The imitability factor evaluates the extent to which a resource or capability can be replicated or imitated. The organization factor assesses how well the company is organized and equipped to leverage its resources and capabilities effectively. 9. Define your strategic positioning. Strategic position originates from 3 distinct sources: variety-based positioning, needs-based positioning, and access-based positioning. Variety-based positioning means serving a wide array of customers, but for most, it will meet only a subset of their needs. Needs-based centers on serving most or all of the needs of a particular group of customers. Access-based evolves around segmenting customers that are accessible in different ways. Access is a function of customer geography or scale. These sources are foundational in shaping an offering's unique position within its industry landscape, leading to competitive advantage and sustainability. 10. Map activities required. Identify and map out the specific activities required to deliver your offering and your strategy according to your strategic positioning. Determine how each activity contributes to your competitive advantage, and how they can be optimized for efficiency and effectiveness. Contrast them against all of the activities already performed by your company, and evaluate if new tasks and linkages need to be introduced and created. Similarly, evaluate if changes or enhancements are required to the existing ones. 11. Align activities for strategic fit. Align your activities to ensure strategic fit with your overall strategy. Ensure consistency between activities and your competitive strategy. Reinforce activities to enhance their impact, and optimize them to minimize inefficiencies and maximize value creation. 12. Evaluate impact on organizational structure. Assess how the configuration and management of your value chain activities influence your company's organizational structure. Consider how decisions regarding resource allocation, coordination mechanisms, reporting relationships, and decision-making processes are shaped by the value chain. Align your organizational structure to support the effective execution of your competitive strategy, cost leadership or differentiation, and value chain activities. 13. Monitor and adapt. Continuously monitor market conditions, customer feedback, and competitive dynamics to ensure that your strategic positioning remains relevant and effective. Be prepared to adapt your strategy and activity system as needed to maintain competitiveness and drive sustainable growth. By following these steps, the planning teams can effectively define and leverage their company's competitive advantage to achieve long-term success and profitability in their industry. And this concludes our episode about developing competitive advantage as part of the definition of how to win with a strategy. Please be sure to check our next episodes where we will move into the fourth step of the strategy choice cascade framework, focused on what capabilities must be in place to win. Until then, keep strategizing. See you soon.